get together and meet the mandate given to us by this country. This is my personal appeal, and in the name of God, whatever your personal interest is and ambition, please keep it close to your heart and in your pocket. Let APC work, and let the system work, and let us have a government that will earn the respect of our constituencies. My problem is having 12 constituencies, and I appeal to you to please continue to work together, and please accept the superiority of the party.
Just if only to slap each other in the back for the great work that we have done. But unfortunately, we are meeting today in emergency session. But that still does not stop us from congratulating ourselves. I think it is in order, therefore, for us to congratulate ourselves for the singular victory that we achieved through the combined efforts of all the stakeholders of the party, from the ward level right up to the national level. Our congratulations should go most especially to you, Mr. President, for being the rallying point around whom we were able to focus our message of change.
Sights and sound there from the National Executive Council meeting of the All Progressives Congress. Of course, afterwards that meeting, you saw Mr. President and the Senate President shake hands. There are people who are saying that's only for the cameras and for the papers. Well, events afterwards did not really tell whether indeed this term is over or not. You recall Yakubu Dogara insisting that Femi Gbajabiamila cannot be the House leader, saying that that group can provide any other person as long as such is not from northeastern part of Nigeria. Of course, the issue of the Senate summoning the permanent secretary of the Minister of Finance probably also brought to fore recently the issue ongoing not only at the National Assembly but within the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress. The senator representing Zamfara Central Senatorial District, Kabir Marfa, has said rather that Senator Bukola Saraki do not have the moral justification to question the decision of the permanent secretary given the circumstances with which he evolved as the Senate President. I'm joined now by political affairs analyst, is also a broadcast journalist, Kazem Kasali. Thank you very much for finding time to come.
Well, thanks for having me again.
It's amazing, isn't it, that less than 2 months into office, APC is already facing what it means to be a ruling party. But let's start from the emergence of the leadership of both parties, I mean of both houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives. One would have thought that after the NEC meeting, by now, both individual parties should have come closer to resolving their issues.
Well, that was the expectation of most Nigerians, that the NEC has held the president, the Senate president, speaker, everybody have come together to say, okay, let's leave this and get on with it. But when you now realize that subsequent events after the NEC, especially on the parts of those who are the dramatic personnel in the whole saga, in politics is a game of give and take. But when you want to take everything or when you want to grab it all, that is one of the reasons why we are still persisting with this problem within the APC. If you look at the Senate, the Saraki group or the Like Minds group are saying we don't want what the party wants. This is your party. It's, for me, it negates what the party, the mantra the party campaigned on, for most Nigerians to give them their support, for most Nigerians to vote in the president, Saraki, and whoever is representing the APC, either at the National Assembly or the executive level. The mantra was change from the previous disorder, where your party will give a directive and you go against the directive of your party and you feel like nothing will happen, and nothing will definitely happen. So it still is a negation of that principle of change that most Nigerians embrace. But be that as it may, for me, the crisis will only start settling down when all the parties sit down on around the table and are able to reach a compromise. But it will not work so long as one party to the dispute is saying this is what we want and this is what must happen. It shouldn't be. It's not caught in stone. And when you look at the fact that in the Like Minds, you have a majority of PDP senators and a few APC members, the situation in the National Assembly is always fluid. It can change anytime. So the fact that we're having 57 senators supporting one group now, while we're having the other group that is less than them but comprised majorly of APC members is on the other side, does not mean that it cannot change. You're
saying the number can change at any time.
Well, change.
The bottom line here would also be that both parties, as it looks now, cannot afford to leave the party. But there are people who are saying the major stakeholder in all of this will be the president, because we're talking about which party will enjoy the favor of the presidency. And that has been best known to many political watchers, that has been the source of the challenge. The fact that some people did not want Tinubu's men to surround the presidency. But the way it is now, for instance, Saturday Punch reported that the president resisted fresh moves by the Senate president to formally meet with him. Isn't that also another side of the story entirely?
You see, let's take it from the issue of Tinubu's men. We tend to forget a whole lot of things. People, it pays some people now to say Tinubu's men, Tinubu's boy, Tinubu's moves. This is Tinubu's whatever. When the party was coming together, forget Buhari, forget all these other people. Most Nigerians, the scanning observers, knew who was the moving force behind the APC. So a case of saying Tinubu's men, what the party wants, what does the party want? The party wants to be able to carry out its programs with people they believe they can trust, with people they believe will carry out the agenda of the party. If the party is saying this is who we want, I don't think we should also join the bandwagon in saying for politicians who have an agenda, who have a personal ambition, that they feel because this man is not going to support me or because the party is not supporting me, let us brand them. Let us brand them and say it's Tinubu's man, it's Tinubu's apologist. The fact is, the Tinubu imposed Bajabi Amila on the APC. From the process that we also, I do not think that is the case. Same with Ahmed Lawan. We all knew that at the initial stage, Tinubu was backing George Akume. The party says, from reports also, that the president wanted Ahmed Lawan. Okay. So, and Tinubu said, okay, let us all back Ahmed Lawan. And some people, in their own wisdom, went against the wishes of the party. So for me, I do not think we should lower ourselves to the point of saying this is Tinubu's man, this is Tinubu's man. We should be looking at the bigger picture, not at all these.
Let me quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to Call Digest. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Aremu, calling from Kwara.
Aremu Nofew.
Aremu Nofew.
All right, calling from Kwara State. Please go ahead with your contribution, Mr. Aremu.
What I want to contribute is
Go ahead, please.
So I never imagined as the leader of the National Assembly we have to complete.
It's all right. I want to believe.
So that the masses will benefit the dividends of democracy.
It's all right. Thank you for your contribution. When next you're calling, Mr. Aremo, just turn down the volume of your TV so that you can stop listening to yourself and we can have a crystal clear communication. The bottom line here also has been that he says we need peace in Nigeria. Whoever emerges, then they should cooperate. Of course, we've heard Mr. President say that whoever emerges, I'm going to work with him. But there are also people who are saying the ball really lies in the court of Mr. President to be more decisive, to be more affirmative, to get more involved in party politics.
Well, let me just put it this way. In 2011, when Aminu Waziri Tambuwa emerged against the wishes of the PDP, what the party leadership did was to ensure that then also candidate for the speakership position, Adeola, Molikat Adeola Akande, emerged as the House leader. It was the party that put its foot down that this is what we want. But when Saraki and Dogara emerged, the party, taking a cue from what the president said, I guess the party was caught in two minds. They were caught cold. It was a case of something happening that we never envisaged, and we were not planning for this, and we did not know where to go from there. So the party missed the ball at that point. So, but for me, the president should also have done more to strengthen the hands of those who have stayed loyal to his party. People like Ahmad Lawan, the likes of Femi Gbajabiamila. I mean, I actually read something from the paper, from one of these columnists that tagged it Femi Gbajabiamila, the travels of a loyal party man. Now, he's not the only loyal party man there. So for me, what is happening now is the president must take the IOS, bring all the actors together, and toe the party line. If he's saying, let us work for this party, the party is supreme, he should not be seen to be just saying it. He should walk the talk, so that what Nigerians really voted for in the APC, we will get it.
Let me take this call very quickly. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
Good morning. You are speaking with Eruption from Okene.
From Okene?
Yeah, Okene. I'm calling from Okene. Eruption.
Eruption. Is that your name?
Yes.
What a name you have there. Go ahead, please, with your contribution.
Please, yes. Please, my contribution is this. About saying Tinubu's men, not Tinubu's men. We saw this man that he was a great man, and we saw his contribution to the politics of Nigeria. Now, before this man was sworn in, that's the president I mean to say, he was, we were hearing that time that there will be problems between them on sharing formula. You can tell me, the Yoruba says about you are not what means that there cannot be a home, and the young child said will be bent. Now that they clinched the power, it's not the Tinubu after they've used his brain. This is not being fair. The politics of winning, taking on winning all is not the best thing. Now that this man has done something very great, something very remarkable, that he fought even with his own life. Now he's now this person's man, this person's man. I think it's high time the president should intervene in what is happening. It's not the best happening. How you sit down, say and lose. Because the people will keep them so that they can do something reasonable. Time is money. Time is fast running. Somebody was saying 2015 is just around the corner, and we all know. Not that they should be doing something, they are not putting their houses together. So I think it's high time. You must not come to the public to tell us that you have intervened. Secretly intervene, talk to your men, and let them give chances. They said when a dog, the mother will sleep for the child will sleep for the mother. You want to have the character and everything there. Now, you now know him by name, that these are Tinubu men. I think he's not the best. So that's my own contribution.
Thank you very much, Eruption, for your contribution from Okene this morning. You talked about Mr. President walking the talk. Of course, we saw him on TV just now saying that if you have personal interest, shelve it for the party supremacy. That seems to be the word now, that let party supremacy take its course. But if Punch story is anything to go by, that the president is not meeting with the Senate president, and of course we also saw a snowball effect where the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Finance allegedly says that there is no, that there seemed to be no, how do I put it now? The president didn't give him the go-ahead order to honor the invitation of the Senate. It's beginning to affect even governance and, of course, the primary responsibility of legislation as it is.
Well, my belief is that we should, like I said earlier, the president has to intervene decisively, but we should not allow this to affect day-to-day governance of Nigeria, because if Nigerians have voted for change, we may be saying it's just a month, 2 months into the tenure of Buhari, but the point is, like somebody rightly pointed out, time is money. 2019 is not just, is not that far away. I remembered in 2010 when we were all saying, in 2015 is 5 years to come. All these people that are jostling for position. This is 2015, and soon will be 2019 will be upon us. So we need to bring everything together, get people to pull in the same direction, so that Nigerians will get what we voted for.
Let's quickly break down the issues, because the question will be, what really do these respective parties want? For instance, the Femi Gbadabiamila group actually would want Femi to be the House leader. Of course, Dogara insists that there won't be justification for geopolitical zones, since Southwest already had the Deputy Speaker of the House. And Dogara went ahead to say, okay, bring in anybody, but ensure that this person is not either from the Southwest or the Northeast. Isn't that reasonable enough? Of course, on the other hand, there are people who are saying this is not the first time that certain political, geopolitical zones have been sidelined in the election of these key office holders at the level of the House.
It's ingenious for those who are saying the Femi Gbadabiamila cannot be House leader because he's from the Southwest. But the point is, the party said at the initial stage that we are zoning these positions. The speaker was zoned to the Southwest, but somebody from the Northwest now contested for the same position and won. Now, if the same set of people who refuse to abide by the zoning formula of the party at the initial stage are now playing the zoning card, don't you think we should also ask them the question that if you feel zoning was important, why did Dogara contested for the position initially? So it's not. I believe even the case of saying national, federal character, or whatever, zoning and all of that, fine. It can work when everybody is pulling in the same direction. But in a situation where somebody is saying this person that the party has anointed for this position, that we have zoned this position to so place, that we are not going to agree with that, we are going to contest this position, and eventually won. So I don't think you have the moral right to say that there should be zoning. For me, personally. Then, when you also look at the fact that between 1999 and 2015, look at the list of the principal officers. Was zoning really that important in picking all of them? It was, okay, the principal officers have emerged. Okay, who is getting what?
Let me hold you for a minute and take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Call Digest. What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kaduna. Alaji MKO Olona is my name.
MKO Olono, thank you very much for finding time to join us, Alaji. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Thank you. I think the issue of Tinubu is that I think that one should not supposed to come to an issue for now. Because
the man, the foreman and God try all his possible best to make sure that this party won this election. And even in the north where we belong to, he made sure that he used everything that he had to call his own people in the north to support this election. Now, if this man wanted to be a sacred cow now, I don't think it is well.
It's all right. I believe you made your point there, Alhaji MK Olono from Kaduna. Thank you very much for your contribution. There's another issue coming up very shortly because there will be an election for members of the Board of Trustees as well as the position of the chairman. There are people who are saying it's between former Vice President Abubakar Atiku and, of course, Audu Ogbe. Of course, there are three of them now. There's also Akode, who is also in for the office. Some newspapers reported Tinubu also probably that will be the way to pacify him, so to speak. But look at the way it is now. There are unconfirmed reports that says that both Saraki and Dogara are with the same camp with Atiku, and they were looking at a battle, the position that Akande already took with his letter, where he termed all of this as northern conspiracy against the southwest. There are people who are saying APC might be sitting on a keg of gunpowder.
Well, for me, it's quite unfortunate that Chief B.C. Akande, a person of the caliber of Chief B.C. Akande, could have written that kind of letter. He may think that way, but I believe as an elder, he could have done this a different way. But be that as it may, when you look at all, it still boils down to what we've been talking about from the onset. The fact that the party has taken a turn. That direction that the party was following, some people within the party, maybe for personal interest, for personal ambition, or whatever reason, believe that the path the party is taking is not going to be one that they want to follow. So that was what played out in the election of the Senate president. That was what played out in the election of the Speaker of the House of Reps, and even the Deputy Speaker and the Deputy Senate President. So all these contending interests have a way of saying, okay, this is the direction we want the party to take. Now, when you look at the three people who have been pushed forward as contenders for the chairmanship of the board, we have Chief B.C. Akande, who we all know is ideologically very rigid, who will not bend for whatever reason. We also have somebody like Audu Ogbe, who is also ideologically very strong. I wouldn't know if he's in tandem with Atiku Abubakar or Saraki or whatever, but the point is, all the candidates represent a particular interest. So if you see an Atiku Abubakar emerging as chairman, board of trustees of the APC, it means the party is going to take a different direction from what it's taking, because obviously Chief B.C. Akande has laid down the gun by his letter and all of that. So it's going to be really, really difficult for the party, but I believe it's doable.
Let me take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Wale calling from Ilorin.
Yeah, Wale, quickly go ahead with the contribution. You have 30 seconds.
Yeah, please, I would like to, my contribution is, look, who is this so-called party leader claiming to be God? This article you are talking about came around under AC to contest. It cannot even win his own.
I'm afraid we lost that.
Mr. Aki is controlling just only one state. Tinubu is controlling like 5 states. Tinubu decided who won this election, this previous election. I didn't think he has support Jonathan. Everybody knows Jonathan is going to take the way again. So why are they so rigid? They want to take everything from the man now. It's not done. You cannot do that and you want a party to exert. There is no how they want to do it. If they refuse to dance to his man too, there is nothing. Even the so-called north, there are some senators and reps from that north
I'm afraid we lost that poor network connection, but thank you for trying, Wale, and I believe that you made your point known already. Well, we have to wrap up the show now. There are many who would say that the moment the party's order was not followed as regards who emerged Senate President as well as Speaker of the House of Reps, it means that the authority of the APC leadership is questionable and that that party was never going to be the same again.
You are right in the sense that once some members of the party decided that this is the way we want to
and
go,
they succeeded.
And they succeeded. And the party was unable to act, and they were deterring, and even the president could not really act decisively. It means the party's level of control over its members has reduced considerably. For me, it's a major challenge between now and the end of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. Let's just say his first time in office. If he's going to win a second time, it will depend a whole lot on how the party is able to manage this crisis, emerge from this either stronger or weaker. So that's the big task before Buhari.
Kazim Kasali, broadcast journalist, thank you very much for finding time to join us today on Core Digest.
Thanks for having me.
There are many who will say talking about a second term for Buhari is just way too early. I mean, he's less than 100 days in office. Many people already tagged him about go slow. Let's hope that he survives this term. Well, beyond all of this also, there are people who would also say that the APC wasn't decisive enough. Whatever decision was taken at the floor of both the House of Reps and the Senate was indeed against the decision of the party, and these offenses, if not anything, are treasonable in nature, and these individuals should have been shown the exit door. Now let's see how it goes with the election of the chairman of the board of trustees of the party. We hope that APC has come to stay. They survived the primary election for the presidential election that held earlier this year. Are they going to survive this yet again? And how would all of these indeed impact on the performance of the presidency? Only time will tell. We'll be back, of course, subsequently to discuss the issues with the APC crisis. But until then, stick around with us on Core TV News. Thank you for watching. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.